and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Denise and this is Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. If you like videos about cross stitch, crochet, and crafting, you're in the right place. So please do consider subscribing. And if you like what you see, please don't forget to hit the like button. How's everyone doing? Happy August. I want to take a moment because I don't think I always remember to do this, but I would like to just take a moment to thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and let you know how much I truly appreciate the fact that you come back and watch my videos and that you comment in the comments, which I love. I just want to thank you. Thank you so much. I don't ever want you to think that I'm taking any of you for granted. Now my last sorry, Angel is running through here like some kind of a madman. I love him so hard. My last Flosstube video was May 30th. So we've got some catching up to do. Although I am happy to say, I don't think it's really gonna be that long a video. Of course, you would have seen by now how long the video is. I just don't think it's gonna be that long, and so that pleases me. So my last Flosstube video was May 30th. Where have I been? What have I been up to? Let me just tell you, I've been pretty much having a very social summer. Now that's not to say that there haven't been bumps in the road and issues and sadness and moods and all that. That was happening too. But so far I've been having a very social summer with, family birthdays and lunch dates. And actually at one of the family birthdays, it was a children's birthday party. I actually hurt my hip, guys. I hurt my hip. It was pretty scary. Although I have to tell you, it wasn't scary enough for me to go to the doctor because I haven't gone to the doctor. And I kind of felt like I just wanted to wait and see, because my experience lately has been, I have pain and I go to the doctor and I feel like the answer is always you're getting old. Okay. So I'm waiting, and I've been waiting, and it feels so much better than it did. And so I think I'm more afraid of doing too much than I am than anything else that's going on. But I have a note. I will eventually have it checked out, but it's getting better. Anyway, I really didn't mean to go into all of that. But anyway, so as I was saying, there's been lots of food, lots of celebrations. I even met up with none other than Sarah of Memphis, Sarah E., who was in town attending the Queen City what do you call? Here we go. We didn't even get started yet, and I'm forgetting stuff already. There was a Queen City retreat, but it was specific. Chatelaines. It was the Queen City Chatelaine retreat. And so I met up with Sarah, and let me just tell you, we had a great time just catching up and just spending time together. And I love her so much. So that was a highlight. That was a definite highlight. I attended Midsummer Stitch, but it really was not the experience that I was expecting, not because of anything that went wrong with the actual event. I agreed to babysit that Friday night, and consequently, I couldn't get her to lie down in the playpen, which is where I would have had her sleep. So, because I couldn't get her to do that, I allowed her to sleep with me in my bed. And so consequently, I got no sleep, like zero. Like I don't believe I ever fell asleep because there's a baby in my bed. There's a baby in my bed, and she is so small that I think that every time that I started to doze off, I had the thought of, where is she? Okay? She's gonna be 18 months old this month, but she's a tiny thing. So yeah, so that happened. And so on Saturday, I really oh God, it was just such an effort. I logged on, and I was there for a little while, and I just couldn't, and I had to go and get some sleep. And so Sunday, I tried again, and I did manage to go into one of the stitching rooms, and I sat and stitched with some folks, and then we all left and went to watch the Sunshine Stitchers live, which was absolutely wonderful. And I hope I'm getting this all now I'm thinking I'm getting it all mixed up, but I know I watched the Sunshine Stitchers live, and I also watched why did I write it all down is what I want to know. Stitchman Darcy and Modern Folk Embroidery. Okay. Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery and Stitchman Darcy. I watched them. So, it was an experience. I actually got some merch. I don't know if you can see it, but I got that little ornament, which I absolutely love. I love it. And I got a chart that I didn't pull out to show you, but it is the stitching bug, which I absolutely also love. So that it was a time. It was a time. And so I do look forward to the next one. Not sure about the one in the fall, because honestly, I just have a lot going on. So there you go. So then this past Monday, I recorded a Flosstube extra where I did a little stash dive, because as you may or may not know, I am now currently obsessed with my rotation and the way that I choose projects to work on and so forth and so on. And so this was where I had to work on X number of WIPs in order to be rewarded with a new start from my stash. And so I think that video was a lot of fun. I will link it below. If you haven't seen it yet, please go watch it, because there is a little contest going on in there as well. And I think you would enjoy it. I think it was a really fun video. I really enjoyed recording it. I have not yet replied to all of the comments, but I will. I am definitely going to do that. So no worries. I also offered to give away a chart that was part of that stash dive that I decided that I was not going to stitch while we were going through the pile. And so the chart that I was giving away is Jolly Snowman by It's So Emma. And the winner of this chart is Karen Baliani, 5150. Congratulations, Karen. I do believe I got your name right. Just let me know if I got it right. Karen Baliani, and I'm going to put it across the screen. So if you would contact me at designmorris1@gmail.com and give me your mailing address, I will put this in the mail for you as soon as possible. Congratulations, and thank you so much for participating. Also, in my last Flosstube, I did get a particular I got a question from Cheryl, who was asking about my granny square blankets, which I do believe I told you guys at the time that I'm sort of in the middle of an obsession with making granny square blankets. And one of the things that I'm kind of obsessed with is the fact that I'm choosing to use a different striping pattern for each one. And it's just allowing me the opportunity to really play with color, which is something that I absolutely enjoy doing. I love playing with color. I think playing with color and just enjoying color is kind of part of what got me here. What got me here to being a cross stitcher slash floss tuber. I love color and I love playing with it. So Cheryl wanted to know for the granny square blankets, what size hook am I using? I am using a 5.5 millimeter hook, and I'm using worsted weight yarn. And currently I am making all of my granny square blankets using Red Heart Super Saver yarn. I find that yarn to be quite durable. For little ones, the blankets that I am currently making are all baby blankets. And so baby can do whatever they want to do with that blanket, and all you have to do is toss it in the washer and dryer and keep it moving. So I want to show you something that I've posted on Etsy, because I do plan to post many of these blankets on Etsy. And so I have one here. And this is part of what I'm calling the Sugar Pop. What am I calling it? Because I can't concentrate because of Angel. Guys, he doesn't ever want to be on camera. But his background shenanigans are hilarious. And I think that he is now just like in love with, as in love with my WIPs as I am, because he's deciding to kind of sleep on my WIPs like every day. I don't know what he's doing right now, but he's over there distracting me. So sorry about that. Okay. This is called the Sugar Pop Dreams Collection. And I'm just going to show you kind of what the blanket looks like. I feel like I may have shown you guys this blanket before. And I can even insert a photo of like the whole thing so you can see it better. But one of the things is that I also enjoy very much making these little T-Rex amigurumis. And so I'm making a T-Rex or two, or however many, that coordinate with the blanket. And so you see the T-Rex goes with this blanket. Now, so when you go to Etsy, it is, and it's linked below in the description box, but it is Black Ribbon Shop on Etsy. You can purchase, if you purchase both of these, you get a discount. That's all I'm trying to say. You can purchase one or the other, but if you purchase them together, you get a discount. And that's kind of the way I am planning for this current phase of collections to go. I love making things in collections. And so, you know, as I said, like this set, for this set there is only a blanket and a T-Rex. Hopefully future sets will have more than one T-Rex to choose from. I don't know. I do know that I've made several blankets for which there is no T-Rex, at least not right now. So just go ahead, take a look at the Etsy shop, favorite it if you want, and I just wanted to let you know that I have that going on. Okay. The giveaways, I did giveaways on my last Flosstube, and all of those were sent out, even though I never came back to do them on video, but they were chosen and sent out. And so now it's time for us to go ahead and look at the WIPs. And I've only had one start in this whole, I had to go back and look at this a couple of times because I couldn't even believe it. I was like, wait, you had 2 months, you only had one start. That is so unlike me, but maybe I'm starting to rein it in, guys. Maybe I'm starting to rein it in. And if I am, I'm really, really happy about that. Okay, so let's start with my current WIP, the WIP that I am currently working on, which is Santa's House, which is #1 in the Fabulous House series by Cottage Garden Samplings. As Santa's House. I love it. I love it. And so I'm going to say that even though I just started working on it, I think yesterday. And so, yeah. Christmas in July stitching. Okay? Why don't I take the whole thing out? So, I'm gonna try to do a side-by-side like I did on my last video. I'm gonna try to do a side-by-side so you can see where it was and where I am now. And so this is where it is now. I mostly worked, I'm trying to get over to the other corner, which is right here. Okay. And so let me just tell you, for the first time that I can even remember, I don't ever remember this happening before. This brought me to tears. Guys, I stitched this whole corner. And then I went to stitch this. All right, so I had all of this red part in, and then I went to stitch this part, and I know they're supposed to line up, and they didn't. And so I had to frog a lot of all of this. And as I said, for the first time that I can ever remember this happening, this project made me cry. So, all right. Okay, so if you've been with me for a little while, you know that I don't like stitching snowflakes. And so, but I love Christmas stitching. And so it turns out that I continuously pick these projects that have all these snowflakes in it. So I was just so frustrated. I can't even believe that I was crying, but I was. So there you are, Santa's House. Oh my goodness. I don't know. It was so difficult. But I just want to show you very quickly that I don't have the whole set because where I was getting them from, I was getting these the Fabulous House series. I was getting it on auto ship, and then the place that I was getting it from, which I can't recall at the moment, they went out of business. And so I couldn't get them anymore. And so, okay. Before I show you that, let me finish showing you this. Okay. I am stitching this on 32 count Silver Moon Lugana, and I am using all of the called for DMC except for a substitution that I made, excuse me, with Vicky Clayton silk. So there's that. I'm going to continue stitching on this. I have chosen to stitch this for 7 days. So we'll see how far we get, and then you'll see it next time. So as I was saying, in that series, I only have the first 6. I think there were 12, but I have, and they're all in the same project bag because I'm going to continuously stitch them. Okay, so we have the castle, beautiful, the greenhouse, the cottage, hobbit house, and the tree house. I even think they sent me the tree house for free after they closed their doors. I wish I could remember who it is, but maybe when I show it to you next time, or maybe I can look it up and put it on the screen, and then we'll know who it was. Okay, I'm gonna do it that way. I'm gonna put it on the screen for you. Okay, so let me just move this out of the way so we can go on to the next WIP. I'm trying not to do an awful lot of zipping, guys, but somehow I just can't help it because I can't bear the thought of things falling out of the project bags. Okay, so the next WIP that I worked on, and these are pretty, I think these are pretty much in order, but you know. So the next one was, oh yes, it was Retreat Queen by Nora Corbett. And she was the chart that was designed by Nora Corbett for the 2023 Queen City Stitch Retreat. And I don't have a cover photo because there really isn't one. There's just a chart, but here is where I got to. And so I'm stitching this on 32 count Nora by Grace Notes Fabric, which was also a fabric that was dyed, you know, specifically for the retreat. I'm not sure at all whether it's available now. I have no idea. And I'm using all of the call for floss, which, you know, includes some Chronicles and I can't think of what the other one is called. Oh boy, it's always I'm going to tell you. It's because it's in almost all of the memorabilia. It is, hold on guys. No, I didn't intend to do this at all. Water lilies. It's water lilies. And you can see one of them right here. So I'm using all of the called for stuff. And of course there's some beading at the end. But I love the way she's coming out, and I think I made pretty good progress. I think I made pretty good progress on Okay. I'm holding that in this project bag that was gifted to me at the retreat by Kelly of Pages and Stitches. Her floss tube is Pages 3 Stitches. On to the next one, which I think the next one is kind of, I would consider it a crowd favorite. Oops. I really don't like these. The time that it takes me to put things away. I feel like I'm wasting your time. Okay, so the next one is Black Belt Sampler by Marumi Designs. Looking for the cover photo, guys. Okay, here we are. Black Belt Sampler by Marumi Designs. And if you remember, Miriam charted this after I said on one of my videos I have a black belt in martial arts. And so she charted this based on that. And here we are. I'm stitching it on 16 count Touch of Pink Ada, and I am using all of the call for DMC. Had to get my board, sorry. And here we are. Here we are. Oops. Here we are. I love it so much. I love it so much. I love the progress that I have made. There are several people who are also stitching along with this, including, I believe it is Deb who sent me her completed one, and she turned it into a project bag, and I'm gonna go ahead and insert a photo of that. So the next thing that I worked on was also a crowd favorite, and that was Charlotte by Mirabilia. And this is what Charlotte's gonna look like when she's done. Of course, without the substitutions that I've made and the color conversion that I've made of her skin and hair. Other than that, I am using all of the called for flosses, and I'm stitching it on 32 count Cecil by Seraphim Fabrics. And goodness gracious, guys, here she is now. Gorgeous. I'm in love. I'm still in love. Look at that dress. That dress is just coming along. It is just flowing along. Oh my goodness. And so I was, at once upon a time, I was stitching Charlotte only on Mondays for Mirror Monday. And I, since I revamped my rotation, I've decided that I am going to stitch on Charlotte only when it's time for me to switch WIPs on a Monday. And so that was what happened. I was able to spend a lot of time, several days with her. And I'm telling you, I do prefer it that way. I prefer it that way. I think I got a lot done that I could see, and so I'm really pleased with that. Now next up, oh, and this is in a project bag that I made. Okay, I made that. And I remember to say that because the next one is also in a project bag that I made. And guys, I put this little key tag on here so that I could see, since it doesn't have a vinyl front, I can see at a glance like what project is in here. And so this is my new start. This is called You Belong to Me by Long Dog Samplers. This is what it's gonna look like when it's done. I remember, okay, I fell in love with this chart immediately, the first time I saw it. I love this chart so much, I actually bought it twice. And it's because, not only because it's just beautiful and I want to stitch it, but this is something that my deceased husband and I would say to each other, you know, very lovingly, like, you belong to me. And so, if you are of a certain vintage, you will also remember the song by Carly Simon, which, wow, I love that song as well. Okay, so anyway, and if you never heard it before, look it up. You might love it. You might love it. Okay, so I am stitching this. Like I said, this is a new start. I'm trying to see what all, I have a lot of stuff going on in this bag. I'm trying to see what it all is. Okay. So I'm stitching this on. I should probably move this, and then that's gonna give me a little bit more room to work over here. Okay. Easy peasy. Okay, so I'm stitching this on 32 count Frosted Lemonade Lugana by Grace Notes Fabrics. And this is my start. Now, I chose this fabric because I am really trying to stitch from stash as much as possible. And so, honestly, this was the only fabric that I had in my stash that was large enough to hold this project. But when I thought about if it was going to actually work, yes, because the yellow sun, the yellow represents the sunlight of the desert sun. So then I had to decide what colors I wanted to use to stitch it in, which is always part of the process with a long dog, right? And so I know that I'm kind of in a green phase right now, and so I wanted to choose a lovely green. And then I thought about how a nice gold or brownish gold, golden brown, would also look nice to represent the sand. And so, you know, I went through my DMC flosses, and I had 12 different flosses chosen. And so suddenly I thought, you know what? Instead of choosing just a golden brown and a green, let's stitch with all of them. Let's stitch with all of them. And I love that idea so much. And it's very similar, but not the same as. It's very similar to the way I'm stitching Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers, because I think I'm using about 6 different pinks, and I'm sort of making my own variegation with that as I go along, and hopefully I'll pull that soon so that, you know, we could revisit that. I missed some of my WIPs, but it's okay. It's okay because I have this lusciousness. I love this so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I just got that little corner of the chart done, this little corner over here, and we started in on this little bird, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So that is You Belong to Me. And I believe, okay, so Jules Line, who is the creator of Long Dark Samplers, just came out with a new one today. All I could do is say, I wish you would stop. Like, stop, don't stop. Because, I don't know. I don't need it, but it's beautiful, and I'm going to insert a picture of it here. So yeah, I want it. I want it. All right, so what was the next thing that I stitched on? I stitched on, oh yes, Alpha Birds. Now, Alpha Birds was a restart. I had started stitching this on 32 count white Lugana, and then, you know, I put my stitches in for however long I was going to work on it, put it away. When I pulled it back out, I really was looking at it, and just for the life of me can't figure out what I was thinking, but there was no way that this chart was going to fit on that fabric. There was no way. I don't know what I was thinking. So it's a restart. Now I'm stitching it on 32 count terracotta Lugana, and I'm stitching it along with Mackenzie of Mud Puppy Stitchery. And this is how far I got this time. And let me just tell you, it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. So the bird, let me show, I forgot to show you what it's going to look like when it's done. So you might not even know what you're looking at. So my bad, sorry. Here it is. Here it is. It's by Crosswing Collection, and it's Alpha Birds. Love it, right? So, okay. Then you get this terracotta fabric going. Oh my goodness. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looked very nice on the white Lugana as well. But I'm kind of trying to step away from white fabric. I'm kind of going through a moody era. I like moody colors now. So, and pink. I like moody colors and pink. So this bird is called an American Everset. And I will put a photo up of what a real American Everset looks like. And so there you have it. And this is all Mackenzie's fault, because she does this, you know, wildlife moment. And I've never considered myself to be a bird person until I started kind of watching and hanging out with Mackenzie. Yeah, I told her about it, so. Okay, then I worked on going to Grandma's by Praiseworthy Stitches. And this is wow. This is a humdinger. Look at that. There is so much going on in this chart. So much going on. So, for example, I believe the border is Chronicles. And then The border is either Chronicles or it's specialty stitches. It might even be specialty stitches with Chronicles, okay? And then the wording is 1/1. And I'm like, I'm not doing any of those at the moment. So I instead started with the house. I instead started with the house. And so I gotta find my card or I can't talk about it. I don't know where the card is. Oh, here it is. It's right there. Okay. I am stitching this on 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana, you know, because I like Silvery Moon Lugana for winter pictures, for winter stitching. Because it looks like, you know, a gloomy winter day to me. And so, I'm using the DMC flosses. And I'm excited because we have grandma now. And we have some wreaths coming in. And I'm stitching this with my table 4 besties from the Queen City Stitch Retreat 2023. We are all stitching this together. And that would be Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher, Amber Rogue Mama Stitcher, Sarah Memphis Sarah E, Bernadette Burn Stitches, and Lisa Crossed by Floss. And we're using the hashtag Table 4 is going to Grandma's. So I love it. So this was my original Christmas in July stitching. Was where I stitched on this. So it is coming along nicely. It is very stitch heavy. There's a lot of stitches in this. A lot of stitching to do. But I am loving the fact that I can actually see the house coming together. I'm up to here. So, right? I'm not going to say that's half the battle, but I want to. I want to say that's half the battle, but it's not. It's not. I'm not going to say that because it's not true. It's not true. Okay. Next up is 4 Seasons, which is this chart from the Keepsake Pocket Calendar 2025. And I was actually stitching on this during Midsummer Stitch, and so I'm sure you know I didn't get very far, but this is where I got to have the tops of all the numbers. And so, of course, it came up in the conversation. I said, you know, what if I don't finish this by 2025? Am I just going to just throw it away? And so I posed this question in the stitching room that I was in. And someone very graciously said to me, you should just go ahead and start making that 5 a 6. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start making the 5 a 6. Because after stitching this, I would love to just, you know, display it for a bit. I would love to display it for a bit. So I think that's going to work. I think that's going to work out pretty well. Pretty well. Okay, next up is, what is this? Next up is the Be Happy Sampler by Mary Englebright, which you can find in this book, Mary Englebright Cross Stitch. I believe this was published in 1996. I looked for it the last time I showed it. I think it was 1996. This is the book that it's in. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Here we go. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm stitching this with a couple of friends. I'm stitching it with Amy of Renewing Stitches and my good friend Linda Fisitola. And of course, I plan to make some adjustments in the girls. Not exactly sure which way I'm going to go with it yet, but okay. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And so I'm stitching it on 16 count Aida, and I'm using DMC, the call for DMC floss, except I did make some substitutions with Vicki Clayton silks, which my Vicki Clayton silks were gifted to me by my friend Deb. Thank you, Deb. You see, I'm really getting some use out of them. And this is how far I am now. And so Linda told me that I scared her by saying that the top was a bit confetti heavy. And I just want to get to the corner. I want to get to the corner, which is over here somewhere. And I wasn't able to do it. And I think it was because it's so confetti heavy. But I think one side of it, I think it might be this side. Maybe it's this side. I don't know. It's also quite confetti heavy. So we'll see what happens. We're just going to enjoy stitching on it one stitch at a time. Because I really do enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. And it's funny because when Amy asked me if I wanted to stitch anything from this book, it wasn't easy to choose because I think I have, over the years, I feel like I have stitched almost every single thing in this book. This was like the only thing, one of the only things that I haven't stitched. So there you have it, right? So there you have it. And I probably didn't stitch it because it looked confetti heavy or something. I don't know. Okay. And so the last WIP that I have to share with you is More Chocolate Bunnies by Hands On Design. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. So cute. And look at the bunny tails that are little buttons that actually came with the chart. So I'm stitching this with Nithya at Daybreak Stitchery, who promised that she's going to put some stitches in hers. And I'm stitching it on 32 count Cecil Lugana by Sarah from Hand Dyed Fabrics. And I'm using all of the called for DMC. Why does that look weird? I don't understand. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I just can't read. I don't know. So here's where it is now, guys. So we got almost all of Life Needs stitched in there. This is so very wrinkled. I apologize for that. But yeah, this is where it is now. So I'm anxious to get up to those bunnies. I'm so anxious to get up there. I want to cheat, but you know, what does cheating ever really get you? Am I gonna finish faster if I cheat? No, I'm not. I'm not. So let me just follow along and do what I'm doing. All right, so that will take care of all of the WIPs that I worked on for the past 2 months, which, as I said, I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be overwhelming. And one of the reasons is because I'm actually giving myself several days to stitch on each project so that I could really get in there and really, really enjoy it before I get sick of it. Okay, so I have a giveaway for next time. And it is, of course, some items from that quarter shop that they sent along for me to share with you. I'm going to go through them rather quickly, but there is a cross stitch giveaway and a quilting giveaway, so that you'll know. All right. So in the cross stitch giveaway, you will receive all of these charts. One winner. You will receive Be in My Bonnet Stitch Cards Set You by Lori Holt. You will also receive June's Sailboat of the Shelf Life series. And you will receive the Berry Mini Simply Signs. Okay. And you will receive Hometown Neighborhood Beehive House. I'm like, don't I think I should be stitching this? But I'm giving it away. I'm giving it away instead. All right. So if you are interested in winning the cross stitch portion of the giveaway, please use the word June somewhere in your comment. And as is the same for all giveaways, please be over the age of 18, as I will be asking you to give me your address. Please be in the United States so that I can actually afford to ship this off to you. Please do not use the word giveaway or prize or anything like that in your comments. And I feel like there's something else, but I can't remember what it is. So, good luck if you are interested in that. Did I say use the word June? I think I did. So for my quilters, I have this pattern is called Hidden Stars, that is designed by Kim Deal. And Strawberry Garden, the Sampler Quilt and Companion Projects. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm so happy to be able to give this to someone. This book is chock full of goodness. Okay. So if you are interested in the quilting portion of the giveaway, please use the word strawberry somewhere in your comment. I will choose a winner and announce who the winner is in my next Flosstube video, which will be September 1st. I've decided to do, I hope I didn't just show my address. I decided to do a monthly recap for you guys with, you know, any little necessary tidbits in between. And so, yeah, because this is actually, I'm considering this my WIP Chronicles. I am so invested in my WIP rotation. And so I think that this is the very best way to chronicle all of that for you. And for me, for, you know, and my children in the future. So, yes, it's going to be, I'm going to be doing a monthly update. And I'm going to leave you with some words of inspiration. I haven't done this in a while, but guess what, guys? I think I'm getting my sparkle back. So, kindness is spreading sunshine into other people's lives, regardless of the weather. So be kind, spread some sunshine, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you.